Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. This is episode 44. I appreciate you for sticking around so long with me. It's early morning, Thursday, the 9th of February 2017. We are staring down the barrel at 1 o'clock here, 1 o'clock a.m. I just found out that someone bid $100,000 on eBay for a Cheeto that looks like Harambe, the dead gorilla. And I need a new scam apparently. I'm gonna start whittling down some Cheez-Its or something. I figure it starts in a square. It's an easy medium to start on. Anyway, let's get on with the show then, shall we? So it's been nearly 3 weeks now since I took Twitter and Facebook off my phone, and I feel like I've been more present for sure. Been connecting with people. Really, the first couple of days I took it off there, I had my phone in my pocket. I even had a conversation with a stranger from Britain at the bar. Other people there, but they were all chatting, so I grabbed a stool and just started talking to this guy who was sitting by himself. It was pretty cool. We used to do that a lot before the days when we had phones everywhere. Anyhow, let's start on the politics, shall we? Shall we? We're going to do maybe just a little bit of politics today. And we're going to go into a less brutal environment, maybe. So, Betsy DeVos was confirmed as Education Secretary, Jeff Sessions as Attorney General. And, the my main wow, that was good English there, Josh. My main my main complaint really is that it's a big government move from a small government party, and that's the thing I enjoy about the conservative side of politics is small government, and I think that uh, DeVos's background and everything I've read about and stuff that came up during our confirmation hearings makes me think that we're going to see a lot of public money going to private institutions. I don't think it's going to benefit our children, which is really what the point of the education secretary should be. But that aside, I think that uh, diverting public funds to private businesses is not okay, and also just having that say for a federal government is not okay. And she says she wants to return power or give power to local school boards, but if the power that she started with is school choice, then what you're talking about is taking away the possibility of things like repairing schools. Yeah, because if the federal money is given on a per student basis and your school starts falling apart, so people start sending their kids to other places, then there's all that money goes to those other places, and there's no money to keep up the public schools. And that's really what I've been worried about with her is kind of our infrastructure and the safety net for our students in public schools specifically. With Sessions as Attorney General, it's another big government move. I tend to, I am not in line with Democrats on a lot of on a lot of law enforcement. I appreciate what law enforcement does for us, and I think that we have I don't know, maybe too many laws and too much in the way. Maybe too many laws isn't the right way to say that, but what I mean is that I think a lot of things that are currently crimes should not be crimes, or at least should be decriminalized. And frankly, if you want to sit in your living room and do heroin, whatever, go sit in your living room and do heroin. You're not hurting anybody but you. I don't think that we need to put you in jail. We don't need to put legal resources into it. We don't need to put law enforcement resources into it. We don't need to pay for rehab for you. You can do that on your own. We don't need to pay for your room and board, which is what prison can be for some people. Uh, and if we want to have some funding for rehab facilities, then great. But largely, if you're gonna hurt nobody but you, we should just leave you alone and then let you do it. Um, you know, if we are gonna decriminalize drugs, we need to have legal limits like we do with alcohol, right? You can't drive if you've got so much in your system because you're just putting other people at danger and all that stuff. So, not happy really with either of those appointments, but really because I think they're big government moves, and we really need to pare back and head toward a smaller government. Elizabeth Warren, senator from Massachusetts, was told to basically sit down and shut up. She was reading a letter from Coretta Scott King, Martin Luther King's widow, opposing Jeff Sessions' appointment to a federal judgeship under the Reagan administration. That was a Republican Congress that denied him that judgeship, by the way, and now he was in the Senate for years, and he was recently tonight. If you're listening to it, well, you're not going to listen to it tonight because it's not going to be released until tomorrow morning. But tonight, as I record this, excuse me, just a little sip of water there. But she was reading this letter from Coretta Scott King, and that apparently is a violation of what they call Rule 19, that you're not allowed to basically impugn somebody's character, a fellow senator's character. Basically, you can't embarrass somebody with the truth, is what it is, at least allowed. Which to me sounds ridiculous. I mean, this is a person who was in a hearing for his appointment to Attorney General, and if it had been a non-senator, if it had been just somebody else off the street, if it had been Neil Gorsuch, the Supreme Court nominee, she would have been perfectly free to say whatever she'd liked. But the fact that he held the title of senator meant that she wasn't allowed to speak against him, which it seems really self-defeating to the idea of open discussion. Like, you need to be able to frankly have that conversation. And I'll end on something with some mixed positivity as far as the politics goes. Last week we talked a little bit about participation in government. Actually, we talked a lot about participation in government. One of the things that I pointed out was how to contact your members of Congress, and including your senators. And I did get a letter back from Georgia Senator Johnny Isakson. I had written both him and Senator Perdue about my feelings on Mrs. DeVos as education secretary. and I, he wound up voting for her, and he, sent me a nice letter with, with kind of a history of this particular appointment, which I was aware of, but he doesn't know that I didn't just get that. He doesn't know that I didn't just copy and paste that from somewhere, but I followed it fairly closely. Uh, so he gave me the history. He told me why he voted for her, and as I've said, I kind of disagree with the reasons he gave. He said that she's gonna give local school boards the opportunity to reclaim the schools and make more decisions. I really don't see that happening, based on what I've heard from her, but at least he took the time to write me, which was nice, and keeps some open correspondence with constituents. I like seeing that. It's participatory. It's good to know that people are doing it. Let's talk. Let's talk Super Bowl, huh? That was really two terrible games smushed together into one to make it a really excellent game. And yeah, I'm a Patriots fan living in Georgia. Yes, I saw the Patriots through their terrible years. I watched Refrigerator Perry carry six Patriots down the sidelines after the 85 Super Bowl, 85 or 86. I think it was 86, which is after the 85 season. Yeah, it's the 85 season, so the Super Bowl itself would have been in 1986. That was a bad year for Boston sports. That was Bears slamming the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and Len Bias overdosed on draft night. The Bruins traded Ray Bourque, who was their best player, in my young lifetime, and then the Red Sox had almost gotten to the point where they were going to win the World Series, and the ball squibbed between Bill Buckner's legs, and they wound up losing that series. So that was the year that I turned 10. That was the year that I became conscious in sports. So if you ever see me cynical, um, despite all the teams having good seasons, then that's why. It's like all the actors who had whose first film was The Empire Strikes Back, which is nothing but depression, and the hero loses an arm, and like that if that's your first movie, you wind up kind of not a good not a good space if your hero's journey ends up with like missing arms and stuff, and waiting till the next movie for revenge, which was years at that point. Anyway, I digress. So, uh, yeah, two bad games. It was a 28-3 game followed by a 31-0 game. That's really what happened there. I did give up for a little while after the pick six in the first half. I took the dog for a walk and jumped in the shower, and found some South Park during the halftime show because I just can't watch that stuff. And I turned it back on in time to see the Falcons score again, and it was 28-3, and the Patriots scored, and Gostkowski missed that extra point. I was like, come on. So anyway, well, you know, it ended up going in the way I wanted it to, but what I really wanted to talk about is being a New England Patriots fan here in Georgia. They were playing the Falcons. So many people in my timeline are Falcons fans, and I am not among those people who I think talking shit is the technical term, uh, because I used to be sure, but I've come to realize, look, I don't have anything to do with a win. I'm just a dude sitting in my living room, watching the game. I have no more to do with the Patriots win than any of my friends who were rooting for the Falcons had to do with their loss. So whatever, enjoy the game. For whatever reason we get a little oxytocin or dopamine kick when a team from our town wins, and actually there's some really interesting studies out there, and I will probably not remember to go find one, but there's stuff out there that says like right after your team wins a championship, you're actually likely to think that your city is in like better economic shape than it really is, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. Of course, I don't, I cheer for Boston teams, but I don't live there, so I guess I get to have that, more a little more objectivity when it comes to that. And ooh, what else? Oh yeah, I'm looking at my notes. Uh, you know, we're lucky to have some family in town. My wife's mom and her eldest brother have been visiting, and they found a nice little Airbnb um, up on Jones Street. That's Jones Street isn't keeping up with the Joneses. Possibly the most beautiful street in America. Still got some of the bricks. It was one of the first paved streets in Georgia. Might have been the first paved street in Georgia, but they still have some of the original bricks there, and some big old live oaks overhanging the street, and traffic moves slowly enough down it, the bricks, and traffic's infrequent enough on some of it that you can just stand in the middle of the street and take pictures. But they found a nice little Airbnb, and we've been going to see them every day, and we love being able to play both host and tour guide here. It's such a great city. If you are not a local, if you're not here in Savannah, you really you should come see it and be here. We got to show them some of our favorites. Yeah, they're here for another couple of days actually, but we've shown them some of our favorites. We made our Mrs. Wilkes excursion or pilgrimage. We went out to Tybee. We were out at the beach for a little while, and then went to Social Club, where they actually ran out of grits, uh, which was odd. They just found that out because they were closed Monday and Tuesday, and recording late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. We went there for lunch, and we ordered shrimp and grits. I'm like, we got the topping made, and there are no grits. We didn't realize that. We closed up after brunch Sunday, and we just opened, and oops. So that was kind of funny. We also we got some lunch at Moon River Brewing, and we'll make sure we get to the Pirates House. And I don't know where else we're gonna get. I know that I've been working all week, but my lovely wife took a few days off, so she's been having dinner with them too, and all that good stuff. We're gonna have my parents are gonna come down from Charleston today. If you're listening to this on the day it comes out, Thursday, so we're gonna get to see them. They haven't seen my mother-in-law since our wedding, so that'll be good. And I really don't have much else today. I hope you've been enjoying the. I know last time I was still political, but I think the last couple of episodes I've been calmer, gentler. Maybe that's just how I perceive it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to enjoy it, starting to be a little more present, and just enjoying what's around me and enjoying life a little more than I was for a little bit there. It's not that the fear's gone away, but I have certainly figured out some direction for some of it. So I'm grateful for you being here, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.